done for you now. But before, how hard was it to go back to coaching at Melrose after retiring? Because I assume you didn't go straight away to coaching.
No, I didn't go straight away. I wanted a break from rugby. I wanted a break from gym, fitness, everything, because I've done it for so long. I probably took
How good did it feel eating what you want and not having to go to the gym at 8 a.m.?
so good. Although it quickly caught up on me, I probably took an overly extended break from the gym and from running, but we're back at it now, which is good.
Good.
I know I eventually joined Melrose. I think I can't remember when I started with Melrose. I think it was last year, June,
Was it
July.
not I was gonna say, was it not just before that bigger game, like a couple of weeks before the one I ended up talking to you at? Because it seemed very out of the blue when you turned up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was, I don't know, July, August, maybe. I was there for the preseason. But yeah, I wanted time away from it. But I also missed that competitive side to the game and that team environment. It's very difficult to be in that team environment week in, week out, and then that just being shut off completely from you. So it was good to, one, coach players that I had played with, and two, coach at a club that I had played at. So I'm enjoying it. I don't make every session because it's quite a big commitment with everything else going on, but it's good. We've done okay this last season, doing well at the Kings of Sevens, which is good to see. So no, I'm enjoying it. It's good team environment.
I'm glad. How was it? Because when you decided to go back to coach, obviously, like you say, that's the boyhood club. How did you have to go back and say to them, going, I think I'm ready to be back in a rugby environment? Or did they come to you and say, we know you're not doing much? And maybe, like you said, because if you're friends with some of the boys you played with, did any of them sort of just go, we know George is sort of looking to have something to do on a Saturday afternoon again?
I think some of the boys maybe spoke to Rob Moffat. So Moff got in contact with me probably June, July time. And I was maybe thinking about, well, what coaching should I do?
Scrums, nothing but scrums.
Nothing but scrums. But I'd been doing a bit of coaching with Duncan Hodge in the Easter camps.
That's not a bad person to learn from either. So that's a good coach to learn from.
Actually, so he's a great coach. And when Moff got in contact with me, I thought, well, what a better club to join and help out. So carrying on there next season, which is good.
Did you have to do a new initiation song and all the? Did you have to redo it?
No, absolutely not.
Are you now worried they've listened to this going, they never asked me to do it, they're going to ask me to do it now?
I remember Nick Bevan screaming at me for my first initiation. I think it was on the bus or something. Had something tied to her wrist, but no, I've done my one once.
Yeah.
I've only ever been at Melrose once, and never moved clubs, so I'll only ever do one initiation.
Quite right. Yeah, no, coaches don't have to do that. Players only.
Nah, definitely.
Mate,
panel.
Yeah, mate, I'm glad for you, and especially being back at Melrose. And I want to talk a bit about Melrose because it's always a club that fascinates me. Because it is an amateur rugby club. Obviously, we can paraphrase into Super Series, Super Six, whatever they want to call it, and you've got that Southern Knights team now. But Melrose Rugby always has and always will be Melrose Rugby. What does that club mean to you, like as a whole? Like, what do you get taught about Melrose from growing up?
It's where you want to play rugby. That's all it was. You remember watching and getting coached by Scott White, Callum Anderson, Kelly Brown came down for some of the summer camps, and it was these names that then progressed onto to professional sport. And seeing them when you're a youngster, it's like, I want to be in that jersey. And it's when you're at school, you're playing rugby. Tuesday, Thursday nights after school, you're playing rugby. Saturday, Sunday, you're playing rugby. Like, I always had a rugby ball in my hand, and Melrose was I don't think I even thought about playing for Edinburgh when I was at Melrose.
Hmm.
I was happy at Melrose, and that's what I wanted to do. Um, it was probably when I maybe signed my first academy contract.
Hmm.
Um, I was then like, oh, I could maybe take this further, but it's yeah, playing for Melrose was something I always wanted to do, and it is a massive honour to do it.
So this might be difficult for you to answer, bearing in mind as you've only done the pro side and Melrose. But this is, I can say this as an outside person looking in who's had the privilege of visiting a lot of the border clubs, especially in the last year. And people can say this is me bootlicking, whatever I'm doing. You're saying it because George is here. This is genuinely my honest feeling. Melrose acts like a professional club, just without the professional people, if that makes sense. Like there's so many volunteers, even like the Sevens is the biggest example. Like what an organization that is to put on. But do you feel that even the way you bring your coaching into it, do you feel that there's a professional atmosphere at Melrose, even though it's not a professional club?
Yeah, you're right, and when I played there, everything was again laid out for you.
Mhm.
Your strips were ready. You had Red Bulls, waters, sweets. You had everything you wanted. The guys who volunteered were incredible because they wanted you to perform on the pitch. The last thing they wanted you to worry about was your jerseys or your socks or anything like that. So they were all about improving Mel's rugby and making them better because the end goal was winning that league and winning the
Mhm.
title and or the Scotch Cup. So they made our lives so much better, and we could just focus on our rugby, and it was such an enjoyable environment. Um, when you were in the storm, all you wanted to do was perform week in week out to then play for Melrose. So the standard of the storm was
Mhm.
incredible as well. So it was just it's a highly competitive team.
And then this might be a question for you. This will be a question for you that I reckon a lot of other border coaches will be eager to sort of get the answer to. How do you instill such a professional? Because obviously, rugby in the local community is always subject to stag do's, birthdays, parental commitments, kids, stuff like that. But it seems like Melrose is always, whether they've just the family and friends understand what Melrose is or not. How do you sort of breed that commitment into the club?
A big part of it is having the right people in the right areas. So, we've always had experienced players still playing for us. They've
Hmm.
stayed at Melrose for a reason. Like they've enjoyed it, and you can actually see it breeding into other clubs. The likes of Kelso, who
Hmm.
won the Nat One League this year. They've got some experienced names in the right places. They'll be a big part of that leadership, and they've not had a massive squad. They've had their injuries,
Hmm.
but they've gone on to win the most prestigious league or cup in their
Yeah.
league. And I think that's what Melrose is about. It's we've got people who are experienced. Yes, we've lost some big names since Super Six, uh,
Hmm.
but luckily we've kept some. And it's again we've got Wasp stepping up who have always watched the experienced players play for Melrose, and it's that want to be where they are, um, and everyone's just kind of looking up to those players, I guess.
Fair play. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's giving us good rugby to watch and talk about on a weekend, so I'm enjoying it. I'm happy to do it. Hey, thank you for listening to this Clips episode on YouTube. And then if you want to hear the whole podcast, you can find them on Apple or Spotify, as well as the full video version on this YouTube channel, alongside all the other great content we produce on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on another Clips episode or in the full episode podcast. Tweet us, tag us, let us know what you thought. All the links are down in the description. It means the world that you guys come and support us, so thank you very much.